the entire Quran. Subhanallah.
Catch that?
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. Already it's near impossible. It's like weaving a cloth from the beginning.
Did you see how verse 3:5 and verse 3:5, if you add those up, it's 7. 359, 359, they're both in 7.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And that's the seventh mention,
right,
of each of them is in the same verse.
But I'm saying if you add that verse up together, it's going to equal 7. 3.5, 3.5.
Oh, 3.5 and 3.5. Look at that. You got to send him an email.
Hopefully.
Yeah. He'll thank you. I think that's a good one. That's a good point. All right. So, yeah, we've already got.
You're done on that.
We're already pretty deep in here, but we're not even halfway through the video. So, hang on tight.
Look at this impossible mathematical perfection. But for now, just remember that the order of the 7th mention for Adam and the order of the 7th mention for Jesus ﷺ is in the exact same verse they were mentioned in together, which said they were alike. But why 7? Before we answer that, let's mention a few more things. Going further, we find that the central number in the 25 verses is 13, 12 verses before it, and 12 verses after it. So why is 13 the central number? Amazingly, the total number of Allah's pious servants, including Maryam, the mother of Jesus, mentioned in chapter 19, is 13. And the highlighted number 12 is the number of prophets, which is basically the same list but without Maryam. May Allah's blessings and peace be upon them all. The stunning harmony is endless. We said that in the verse Adam and Jesus ﷺ were mentioned in together, which stated that they are alike, is the 7th verse on both lists, and wondered if there is more to this number 7. We find that their mention was in the first 7 words, with Adam being the 7th word. Then we find that the name Jesus uses 4 letters of the alphabet, and the name Adam uses 3 letters. Together, they give us 7. Then when we count all verses they were mentioned in, they are a total of 49. So what is 49? Of course, 49 equals 7 times 7. The harmony and mathematics are amazing. Then to top it all off, this verse is between 2 verses which have 7 words each. If this is not enough, the verse itself, as mentioned, is number 59, which is a prime number. So of course we check its order, and it turns out to be the 17th prime number. The number 17 is also a prime number, so we keep going, and amazingly, its order among prime numbers is 7. So again we return to the number 7. This is amazing, but some took it to the next level. Those who use grammar rules for counting took this even further and highlighted the following. The first mention of Adam was in verse 31 of chapter 2, and the first mention of Jesus ﷺ was in verse 87 in chapter 2. When we count starting with the first mention of Adam up to the first mention of Jesus, peace be upon them both, it is word number 971. 971 is a prime number, and its order is 164. So what is 164? 164 equals 114 plus 25 plus 25. Of course, this is the total chapters in the Quran, total mentions of Jesus in the Quran, and total mentions of Adam in the Quran. Peace be upon them both. This is amazing. The code for their first mention in the Quran gives the Quran and their total mentions each in the Quran. But Can we reinforce these connections to be sure this is the right path and not a coincidence? When we add the two verses, we get 31 plus 87 equals 118. Amazingly, this is the exact equation as before, but using a different method. The Quran is 114 chapters, as you know, but the word Quran repeated in the Quran 68 times, and 118 equals 68 plus 25 plus 25. Subhanallah. Either way, this shows Quran plus the mentions of Jesus plus the mentions of Adam, peace be upon them both. All of we had mentioned so far is clearly beyond human capacity. But is that all with regards to 118? We find that 118 is also equal to 59 times 2. So could this also be indicative of something? You may have already guessed it. 59 is the number of the only verse in the Quran that mentions the 2